Christine and welcome to this video. Today we will be doing a comparison video on 3 different double side-by-side strollers. The 3 different companies we'll be looking at are Thule, Bumbleride, and Bob. Introduce the categories that we'll be looking at today. I did just want to mention the price. They're all very much in the same price range. Bob is slightly less, but again, because they're kind of in the same price bracket, we'll be focusing on the different features today. Okay, so when looking at and comparing these 3 strollers over the past couple of months, I've tried to come up with categories that are practical, day-to-day things that would be the most useful for me as a new parent of 2 small, sweet little babies. So today we'll be looking at storage space, how easy the stroller is to push and maneuver, how easy the stroller is to collapse for storage and transport. Also, we'll be looking at what the buckling in experience looks like for the babies and for us. We'll be looking at what the nap situation looks like for each stroller. And lastly, we'll be looking at just the general size. The first stroller we'll be looking at today is called the Thule Urban Glide 2 Double Stroller. A quick little intro to this one. We love it. It's the lightest in class and it's a jogging stroller. One thing that's great is that it has a zippered cover option, which can be really useful. I do wish that the opening for it was a little bit less narrow. For instance, we can't fit our diaper bag inside. We just have to empty it into the bottom of the stroller, which is not necessarily a big deal, but sometimes we do wish there was just a little bit more storage space and a little bit more of an opening. It is really easy to push and maneuver, feels really light. We live in a neighborhood with lots of little hills, so the handbrake is really great. The safety wrist strap is, of course, really great for safety, and the handlebar adjusts, so my husband, who's really tall, can use it, and we can also adjust it so that our little one, Willa, our 2-year-old, can help to push it as well. So when collapsing this stroller for storage or to put it in our trunk, it is super easy. It can actually be done with one hand, which is amazing. Really great if you have 1 or 2 kids with you. So we love the way that it collapses for storage and transport for sure. The buckling in experience. What I mean by this is just how easy it is to buckle in the kids. Again, when you have the 2 babies, it can be a little bit hectic, so I wanted something, you want something that's really easy and just convenient. So with the Thule, we love it. It is easy to buckle them in, it's easy to adjust, and I really like it because the area for the children is really wide, so they just seem very comfy in it. Next is the nap situation. So sometimes we're on the go and one or both babies needs a nap. So it's just nice to know what the nap situation might look like in the stroller if we have to do it. We really like the Thule. It reclines really nicely. It doesn't go all the way flat, but for us, that's not necessarily a big deal. It goes nice reclined, and then the hood comes down, not all the way down. So one thing that we do have to do with this stroller is use just a little blanket to make it a little bit darker if we want it to be darker. But I do like it because there's little mesh areas for airflow for when it's a hot day and you have a little napping baby in there. Lastly, for the Thule is size. So the size, it is the widest slightly of the 3, and the second widest when collapsed. So just something to note. Okay, so that's it for the Thule. My overall thoughts are that it feels super safe. It feels like the most high quality of all 3 strollers. The kids love it. It's a smooth ride. It is comfortable. We love the handbrake on it, again, just because of our little hills that we live near. And the only thing that we really wish is that there was a little bit more storage space. You can buy a little attachment that we did that kind of solves this problem, but again, a little bit more storage space would be nice. Next, we have the Bumbleride Indie Twin Stroller. A little intro for you on this one. One of the great things about it is that it is ready to use from birth without accessories. It is definitely the most eco-friendly version of the 3 strollers. It's made out of recycled water bottles and fishing nets. It is PFAS free, and nobody wants those around their little babies. One thing to note is that it's not a jogging stroller. I like that the storage space underneath on this stroller is a little bit wider to get into, so our diaper bag can fit in. There isn't a zipper cover, but for us, it's not really a big deal. The Bumbleride Indie Twin is also really easy to push, super smooth. It doesn't have a handbrake, but it does have a safety strap for your wrist, which is great. And this stroller has all-wheel suspension, so technically it should be easier to push. However, we didn't necessarily feel too much of a difference. To collapse the Bumbleride, there's a few extra steps that you need to take, but it is still pretty easy. Slightly heavier than the Thule to pick up, but again, all pretty easy and convenient. The buckling and experience for this one, the shoulder strap and the waist strap come apart for this one. So some people might really like this feature. For us, again, it's just a little bit tricky sometimes just to keep them together. So that's something to note, as well as the space for the children to fit into. It is a little bit more narrow, still really okay for now, but I can see maybe it getting to be a little bit less comfy as the children get older and bigger. The Bumbleride's nap situation might be the best of all three. It reclines all the way fully back, which is fantastic. It has little adjustable footrests as well, so your child can be completely flat. And the hood goes all the way down. So in terms of the nap situation, you really could not ask for a better one. Lastly, the size. So the Bumbleride is definitely the smallest of the three. It has the smallest frame, so it might be the best option for the city if you're looking for a side-by-side stroller in the city. That is it for the Bumbleride Indie Twin Stroller. My overall thoughts are that it is a really nice stroller, great to push, great nap stroller, and the company is super eco-conscious, which I love. The last stroller we'll be comparing today is the Bob Revolution Flex Duallie stroller. A little intro on this one. You can use it from birth with certain car seats. It has a lot of pockets for storage, and it is also a jogging stroller. The storage space underneath the carriage is fine. It doesn't have as big of an opening as the Bumbleride, so I would say that it's similar to the Thule. So the stroller, just like the others, is really easy to push and maneuver. We have no real complaints at all. It doesn't have a handbrake, but again, it does have the safety wrist strap, which is great. This stroller is really easy to collapse as well. It is a two-step process, but very straightforward. Technically, it is the biggest when it is collapsed. However, when you compare them all, they're all very similar. Buckling in the children with this one, the buckles for us were just a little bit tricky to use at first. It may be something that you get used to with time, I'm sure, but just something to note. The area where the children sit is a little bit narrow, similar to the Bumbleride, so Thule definitely has the widest area for the children to be sitting, which is another thing that might be useful to know. And lastly, for this category, the Bob does offer the fully upright seating option. Bumbleride also has this, but again, just important to note that Thule does not. Napping in this stroller is also really great. The seat reclines really nicely, not all the way back, but definitely back enough for us. The hood is fantastic because it goes all the way down, so again, really convenient if you need to be napping on the go. Size-wise, the Bob is the biggest when folded, but not by a lot, and it is the second most narrow, which again might be useful for some people to know. However, if you do look at them all together, you can see that they are very similar. That is it for the Bob Revolution Flex Duallie stroller. My overall thoughts are that it seems like an in-between of the Thule and the Bumbleride, so you might opt for this if you're looking for different features from both. For instance, it has a better nap situation than the Thule, but not the Bumbleride. However, it has upright seating like the Bumbleride and not the Thule. All right, so there you have it. That's the comparison of the three different side-by-side strollers. I tried to think of all the things that I was looking for when I was searching for a side-by-side stroller. So I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I always love to hear from you, so please do comment with any experience or questions. I'm also on Instagram as well if you'd like to reach out there. If you like this content, please remember to share, subscribe, like, and we will see you in the next video. Say bye. You have to say bye.
Bye.
Nice and loud.
Bye.